I read a few creepypastas, hence why I'm making this. I was out on a walk one afternoon. I was going down to my local pharmacy store to read some magazines and maybe buy a snack. Yet, on my way there, I noticed a garage sale. I don't normally care about things like that, yet I figured I could spare a minute or two and look around. Who knows? I might find something cool. As fate would have it, I did. I noticed an old Looney Tunes DVD. The case was rather old and worn. Some of the characters' faces seemed to been ripped off, probably for some little kind of or something. I used to love those things as a kid. I especially loved Wile E Coyote. Plus, it said it had a special lost episode. Lost episode, I saw it. Never heard anything about one of those. Yet when I asked to buy it, the owner said, "You don't want that DVD, dude." "Why not?" I asked. "The lost episode is." He stopped talking, as if in a trance haunted him by something horrible. Nightmare? I didn't really care. I mean, if it's bad, so be it. Still got plenty of other episodes to watch on it. In the in the end, I bought from the guy anyway. He shook his head and frowned as I left. "Jeez," I said to myself. "How bad can it really be?" Later that night, I decided to watch the DVD. The rest of my family had gone to bed already. My bro and sis had had to go to school early tomorrow. My mom had a tough day at work and basically crashed on her bed. When she got home, and my dad goes to work at 5 a.m. So it was just me, myself, and I watching some good old Looney Tunes. I put it in the player, and soon enough, the main screen came up with the options. Looked cute enough. It had Bugs Bunny center munching on a carrot, Wile E Coyote Roadrunner in the background on one side, and Sylvester and Tweet on the other. Occasionally, Daffy popped up every once in a while, trying to get on the screen. Yet when he finally does, Elmore Fudd shoots him with his gun. I noticed the last episode had a section just for itself, and remembered how freaked out the guy was. Curious, I selected it. How terrible can it be? I remember thinking once again. The episode starts off normally the WB zooming up, followed by the little dan 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 music. Then the title of the episode came up. I got 'em all. I found that title a bit odd, but whatever. The title fades away, and I was shown it was shown by Wile E Coyote. Yet he wasn't running after the Roadrunner. In fact, I didn't even hear a meep meep. Also, those goofy scientific Latin names they put under he and Wile E Coyote popped up. Yet the most unusual thing was that the nighttime and desert. No Wile E Coyote cartoon was ever shown with it being night. Wiley just stood there looking at the camera. It's a really sad and serious look on his face. No music plays. There is an orange glow coming from the left of him, and I could hear what sounded like fire near him off screen. He just stood there looking at the camera, looking at me for about 15 seconds. Then he turned his head near this off screen fire. The camera stays on him, so I can't tell what he's looking at. He looks back at me, and then he holds up a sign that reads, "You laughed at me." I didn't get where I didn't get where this was going. He talks rarely. Those Wiley does Riley Wiley ever talk unless he's with Bugs Bunny. "You said I couldn't. It couldn't be done," Wiley says. "That I can't catch him. The destiny dictates that shall not be." I lifted an eyebrow, still wondering where this was going. Wiley walks away off screen. When he's finally, when he's totally gone, I hear something wet and squishy along with the fire. Wiley walks back and looks at me once more, then lifts his head. I gasped at what was in it. The roadrunner's head. Wiley laughs and proceeds to bite into the bird's decapitated skull. As he does, this the scene flashes to Wiley silhouette by a full moon as he runs through the desert night. Back to Wiley and Roadrunner's head for a moment. Then back to Wiley, still showed out outline of him. Then I see the Roadrunner sleeping in his nest. Wiley walks towards him. Back to Wiley, who taking another bite of the Roadrunner's head, blood dripping out of it. Back to Coyote creeping on the nest. He now stands right behind the sleeping bird. I'm now seeing Wiley's feet. Blood drips down near them. As soon as the sound of him eating the head is heard, again we return to Wiley the, and the nest. Wiley now holds what looks like a large knife. No way, I remember saying just before it happened. Wiley jams the knife right into Roadrunner's head. Its blade comes out the front and piercing one of his eyes. For a brief moment, the Roadrunner twitches, then his body goes limp. Wiley pulls out the knife by ripping it out of the top of Roadrunner's head, followed by chopping off his neck. It returns to Wiley in the head. He's still looking out at me. He tosses the head away and smiles. I was make a freak out face, terrified and surprised at what I just saw. Surprised, I see, Coyote said. What about this? Wiley reaches for a side of the screen and moves the camera over where the fire is, only to reveal the rest of the Looney Tunes characters' heads on poles. He walks over the first one, Porky Pig. Just then, the scene goes to an image of Porky body on the floor being cut open and his eternal organ being ripped out by Wiley's hand. Next is Sylvester, and we see in his scene in his decapitated head in the toilet, float, floating in the blood and water in it. Elmore Fudd only has hat on the pole. The scene goes to him, his shotgun in his mouth. Then his head exploded in a bloody, brainy mess. That's what I assumed was Wiley firing it. Sam shot with his pistols. Forehorn skinned alive. The dog, those the dog in the Forehorn cartoons have a name. Chainsawed to bits. I felt like waiting to vomit with each new character introduced, followed by how they died. Soon enough, he came to Bugs. Still had his whole body, yet he was implanted upon a much longer pole, his body still twitching, his tip coming out of his mouth. The camera moves to the side of his head, his eyes to look at me. He tries to mutter something, yet can't. Wiley gets a knife and cuts one of Bug's ears off. Please, no more, I managed to say. I don't know how I made it this far without turning it off. You want me to stop, eh? Wiley said. That sent shivers down my spine. Could you hear me? Could he hear me? Wiley goes in to stab Bugs in the bottom of his spine, then led the blade up to his neck. Blood gushes out of out of the new wound. I couldn't take it. I stopped the DVD, took it out and broke it. Stay lost, you fucking shit, I said as I tossed it away. I didn't watch Looney Tunes for 2 months after I saw that. I was afraid that the episode would appear. I still am. I tried looking it up on YouTube, yet that, and no site for the matter has it. I just pray nobody else has a copy of this DVD. Don't watch the lost episode.